I always have liked to take care of myself, but when I couldn't, and Ruth stepped in with this wonderful program, I don't know what I'd do without it.
There are people who will sit at the counter who may be white collar, they may be physicians, they may be attorneys, they may be blue collar. But when they're at that counter, they chat with each other like if they're old friends. And that's one of the parts of the huddle that I love. So I happened to be out cooking at the grill a lot, and a young man started coming in the restaurant. His name is Scott. And I had never seen anyone so sick in all my life. He is sitting every day at the same place at the counter, and he told me that he was a man living with AIDS. And he told me a little bit about how he was suffering, and that he would eat an enormous meal, but it didn't do anything for him. It didn't seem to make him healthier, it didn't seem to help him gain any more weight. And then he told me that there were a lot of people like him, a lot of people suffering with AIDS right here in this community, in the Mission Hills community. He wasn't keeping any food at home because he just didn't have the energy to go and cook for himself. There were days when he couldn't even take a hand can opener and open a can of soup. And it was easier for him to come to the restaurant. So I thought, okay, I have this God-given talent to cook, and I have these people that seemingly are starving to death. So I thought, this is a no-brainer. Scott had stopped coming in. My first thought was, how can I get a hold of him? I started telling people in the restaurant what my plan was to try and find Scott and maybe take a meal to him every day. And that's when people rallied behind me and said that they had AIDS, that they could benefit by that occasionally, that they had a neighbor who had AIDS, they had a car they would love to deliver, and special delivery took on a life of its own. And this community is very loving, very giving, and they have a lot of love and generosity. Many of them have been volunteering for 20 years or more, and they know that they're making a difference in people's lives.
My mother, she was shot when I was a little girl, and so I was basically emancipated when I hit 14 years old. And I took care of myself and did what I had to do to survive. And I found out that I had AIDS during this process and that I was diabetic. And I used to get food from her every Friday, and she would send it to my house for me and my kids. I love her.
I do go to the pantry because I can't afford to go to the store. I wanted the good products. Because of the money situation, I had to take the cheapest one, not the best one. And I'm so grateful that it's here.
The 22nd of August will be 15 years I had my kidney transplant. And from my transplant, I developed diabetes and high blood pressure. So one of the ladies who is here, she told me, yeah, you should come to the diabetes class. I said, why not? It has helped a lot.
We found about 20% of the people that were coming to the pantry were living in poverty and had diabetes. That number astounded me, and I wanted to do something about it. So we really cut back on the amount of sweets that we provide for the people who come in and shop. And so Feeding America San Diego has really helped me to provide all of the fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, frozen meats, dairy, so that the shoppers can come in and actually get what they need. I think the uniqueness of our class is we talk about some of the problems that exist, and we talk about the answers in practical terms. I've had a gentleman come to me a couple of weeks ago, and his doctor wants to know what has he done to make such a good difference in his life. And the produce that is provided through Feeding America San Diego has helped make this a reality. I love Feeding America San Diego. I love that they deliver food to me. I love that they've allowed us to feed people. I love Feeding America San Diego.